So remember, when we compare, we are going to use a greater than symbol, a less than symbol, and what other symbol? Equal. When we compare in math class, we're going to do greater than, less than, and equal to. Okay, so let's do some examples. If I gave you 5 and 8, are we going to, raise your hand when you know, are we going to put a greater than symbol, a less than symbol, or an equal to symbol? Raise your hand when you know. What are we putting, everyone?
Less than.
Less than, good, because 5 is less than 8. So we put a less than symbol. That's, remember where you guys learned like the crocodile eats the bigger number, whatever you guys learned it as?
Yeah, I did learn it.
There you go. So when they are both positives, it's what you guys have already learned, right? Bigger number, correct?
Yep.
Okay, positives are nothing new to us. Negatives may be a little bit new though, right?
Yeah.
So let's say I still have a positive 5, but this time I'm comparing it to a negative 8. Raise your hand if you know whether that one's greater than, less than, or equal to. What is it, everyone?
Greater than.
Good. It is greater than because 5 is greater than a negative 8. Positive numbers are always greater than negative numbers. Always. Questions on that?
Wait, when you're doing a negative number compared by negative
I will get there, bud. We're not there yet. I will get there.
It's a small number.
Okay, what about this one? What if they are both negatives? I have a negative 5 and a negative 8. This might be a little new to some of you. If I have both negatives, raise your hand if I would put a greater than, a less than, or an equal to symbol. What would I put, you guys?
Greater than.
I am going to put a greater than symbol. It is the opposite of your positives. So if you think about a number line, which number is closer to 0 on that number line? Negative 5 is closer to 0, so negative 5 is greater. So let's draw a number line. I have 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, I'm going to make a bigger number line, negative 7, and negative 8. We are comparing that negative 5 and that negative 8. So do you guys see what I mean when we draw out that number line? Negative 5 is closer to 0 on the number line. So negative 5 is the larger number. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah.
So the closer the number is to 0, the bigger it is. And please write down that that's for negatives only. Do not do that rule for positives because you'll get it wrong, right guys? So that rule is only for negatives. The closer the negative number is to 0 on a number line, the bigger it is, meaning it's the opposite of your positives. Any questions on that, you guys? Okay, what if I give you one last one? That one right there. Write your answer down for me. What would you tell me, everyone?
Equal to.
Just wanted to throw in one equal to question. Okay, any questions on comparing? Alright, let's do some ordering now. When I say ordering, what do I mean? Putting them in order. So let's do some least to greatest. So this is like you're drawing it out on a number line, but you're actually not drawing a number line. You're just putting them in order from least to greatest. So I give you these numbers. 5, -6, 7, 16, -12, 0, 12, and -2.
All a number line?
Nope, you do not need to draw a number line. But if you need a number line to help you put them in order from least to greatest, can you draw a number line?
Yes.
Absolutely, you just don't have to. So I want to go from least to greatest. So I need to ask myself the question, what is the smallest number, or let me rephrase that. If I want least to greatest, what set of numbers should come first? The negatives or the positives?
The negatives.
So I need to look at all of my negative numbers first. Because those are all of the numbers that have to go first. Does that make sense? Then out of those numbers, -6, -12, and -2, I need to pick the smallest one out of that group of numbers. What's the smallest one, everyone? So that -12 goes first, and then I'm going to cross it out so that I remember I used that number already. Then what number comes next? -6 or -2?
-6.
Cross it out. What's the next number that should come? Cross it out. So do all of your negatives first. What number should come next?
0.
0. Do not forget that 0 always goes in the middle of your negatives and positives. They won't always give you 0, but if they do give you 0, make sure you always put it in the middle. Now we can look at all of our positive numbers and go from least to greatest. So what comes first, everyone?
5.
What comes after 5?
7.
What comes after 7?
12.
And what comes after 6 or 12?
16.
You told us the answer.
So do you see how chunk them into do all your negatives first, do all your positives second? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What if I reversed it? What if I said greatest to least? What should come first?
Switch it. Positive numbers.
Positives will come first, negatives would come second. So let's do one of those examples. So let's order from greatest to least. Here are our numbers. 24, -13, -7, 18, 9, 3, -2, and 1. So if I want greatest to least, what comes first, guys? My negatives or my positives?
Positive.
I want greatest. What are my greatest numbers? Positive. So when it says greatest to least, I need my positive numbers first. So look only at your positives. So, and I want the largest number first. What's my largest number, everyone?
24.
So I'm going to write that 24 down because that is my largest number. I want largest to smallest. What should come next, everyone?
18.
What comes after 18, everyone? What comes after 9?
3.
And what comes after 3?
1.
So we did all of our positives first. Does that make sense to everyone? What number always comes between your negatives and your positives? What number?
0.
Do I have 0 in this set of numbers?
No.
So do I need to write 0? No, it's not there. You don't need to write it. But now I need to look at all of my negative numbers. And same thing, I'm going from greatest to least. This is the tricky part. Out of negative 13, negative 7, and negative 2, what is the largest number of all of my negatives?
Negative 2.
Negative 2 is the largest because it is closest to 0 on a number line. So I'm going to write negative 2 first. What is the next number that is closest to 0 on a number line?
Negative 7.
So I write negative 7. And then what's the number that comes after that? What is it?
Negative 13.
Questions? All right. Let's